Welcome back to 1023 Culture. We are returning to Octonic. Octonic is the app that you can use while you are walking on a treadmill, riding a bike, things like that. It is an exercise. It's great, I think. And previously I looked at this thing, and you can kind of see me booting it up initially. I had done the demo on this with you. Pay no attention to that shelf up there, because that shelf on the left is pretty cluttered. You can see my Quest 2, my old Quest 2 there on the wall as well. Anyway, so we're kind of connecting up to it. This actually connects up to a treadmill if it has, a Bluetooth access here. And real quick, just kind of knocking it out here. It's going to connect up the app to the treadmill a bit. I'll let this happen a bit so you can see the intro part of it, because I didn't know how to do this at all when I was going. So we're going to calibrate up the grid. It's all controlled by hand controls here. Now this is the grid. The grid is underneath you. It is kind of identifying where your treadmill is, and where you're standing in the treadmill. And this is what makes it safe. Then you can see right now I'm calibrating in the pass through so that you can continue to see it. One thing to note is that the demo was not set up for Quest 3, so the nice pass-through of the Quest 3 did not show up in the demo. Now you can see more of my house a little bit. I don't have very good lighting in there, or you'd see more, and I'm probably happy about that. I had trouble moving that thing around. I was supposed to be able to move that to a different place. And it wasn't doing it for me, and I'm going to try again later. But presumably now this is actually hooked up to my treadmill. We're going to get going, but I wanted to show the beginning of this because the app itself is free, okay? But any course that you would walk, run, bike, whatever on, you have to buy. And this is where I'm kind of figuring that part out. I haven't checked out the realistic worlds yet. There is a login. I signed up for everything. Yes, I cut through that. I don't, keep myself from doxing. But stick with me here. We're gonna see some actual usage of this. So stick with us here. This is the Caves and Canyons. This is the one. I think this is just the original one that's using the demo. It's probably a better one now. You have to pay for the worlds. And here I'm just kind of looking at some of these ones, see what this one's only 3/4 of a mile long, and it's just a sprint. There's a few of them here. These are I do want to look at the realistic ones, like the train tracks and things like that, because we have a whole trains to trails thing that goes on in the U.S. Where old railroad tracks are moved are changed because they're not in use anymore, and so they're changed to trails. A lot of people run, bike, and everything on them. So you can see, I can see that being a very useful thing. Continuing on here, and we settled on the space mining. The space mining had something that others didn't have. There was using hand controls. You had lasers coming out of your hands, and you'll see that. You'll see that if you stick around here. See, I just cut through that whole point of signing up. It's very easy to sign up. It's not a big deal. You do get an email confirming, but no big deal. So remember the old one? It was just kind of a shadow man, right? That was your example of you walking or running, and so just kind of looking at the menu here, just so you can see it. And like I said, I had to buy that. That was $7 for the spacewalk, and so that's up to you. I mean, I can get a fair amount out of this.
Step back a bit.
But you can see this is very, very different layout compared to what the demo was. They definitely improved it. This woman on here, at first I was like, well, I want him to have a man on there. Well, okay, whatever. The other one only had a man, so what did women do? But she is pretty funny looking. Those legs are she is not proportional, but okay. So takes a minute. Yeah, I've already hit, now at this point in time I have it all set up. I'm not sure how to get things going here. I'm already walking on my treadmill, and I get about 20-30 seconds of walking on my treadmill. Finally getting it to start to go in here. Half mile, mile and a half, and then all of a sudden it jumps up. It does it itself. I think it finally caught on to where my treadmill was on the Bluetooth connection. Point with an open hand and an active object blue outline to grab it. This is an important thing. This is the only one I've seen so far that actually states them in there that you have some sort of a game to play while you go. Makes it a little different, makes it more fun. But I'm trying to do it here because I didn't understand.
Step forward.
I didn't make the blue outline show up. The blue outline shows up on its own. So I just skipped a little bit to where I finally figured it out. And that's all you do is you point the laser at it, and it comes in and it goes onto a little scoreboard right there on your dash down there. And so that was another thing. Is that I kept on getting distracted by the ships going overhead. But this is a fun game. This is a fun way to do your workout. The bridge just keeps forming as you walk. You go from station to station. Each station is about a half a mile. I think it's probably metric, so therefore me switching over to it's probably a kilometer. So this is the new Octonic, and I'm gonna continue on doing some other courses. And I want to check out some other things as far you can see where you are in the mini map. You can see there's a lot of distractions, so I didn't catch that one right up that turned blue. I had it above my head there. And the scores, and I suppose you can probably keep track of that and do a competition with friends. I missed quite a few. I actually saw quite a few when I was reviewing my footage. As far as because I was just distracted by the cool environment. You're in the nebula. You have the nebula. You have a sun or star right there. In the area, it looks like a pretty busy part of the galaxy because of all the stars are very close. Imagine the gravity would be crazy there. So, but here in virtual reality, so real. This is not one of the realistic ones. Again, that's a shuttlecraft going overhead again like that. There's a bunch of those going. They're a little distracting but fun. And so the nice thing about it is that my 30-minute walk with this was, first off, once I got used to the environment, I finally got to the point where I was catching the outlines, the blue outline, and I was starting to rack up some scores. And it's pretty easy to do when you're walking, and I really enjoyed it. So the music isn't horrible. It isn't great, but it isn't horrible. It is copyright free kind of stuff. But some of it's upbeat, some of it's a little more mellow, and it does cycle through some songs here and there. Let's see what else we can come up with on this. Yeah, so we get to this point here, and I just kind of want to point out that the music is meh, but there's a lot worse. I'm not into pop music much, but so we'll be back in a little bit after we do. I'm gonna cut out a bunch here, so we're gonna come back a little bit. So we have some different music here at least, so I thought I'd shift a little bit, keep your interest hopefully. You see we're getting a lot more of the crystals and things like that to blow up, and it's kind of fun. Something I want to show you here in just a second. It's going to be kind of cool. I don't know if you noticed it, but I did, and maybe it dates me a little bit because it's actually one of the things that to me is just recent, but because I'm old. But hang on a second. So here you see I'm approaching the next space station. And the first thing I noticed on it was the two cylinders to the left and right, which made me think Mickey Mouse. But then the more I looked at it, I was like, that's not Mickey Mouse. That's not. We don't have a Disney issue here. What we have going on here is we have Deadmau. Now, if you don't know who Deadmau is, now if you're a lot of people my generation kind of barely paid attention to that, but the techno side of things. But does that look like Deadmau or what? I don't know. Is it intentional? I don't know. Maybe they're fans. I just thought I'd kind of throw this in there, though, because it was kind of a fun observation for me. But, I'm probably going to wrap it up here pretty soon, because really it's just more of the same thing here now. And I don't want to waste any more of your time than any more of mine. But, is this worth it? Yeah, I had fun. For $7, I had fun, and I can come back to this one anytime I want to and do it again. There's others. I will be reviewing some of the other ones. Probably gonna try out some of the realistic ones. Like I said, the whole concept of going over a train bridge or train trestle or paths. Very realistic. It looks really good. There were some things that were. Some competition-based ones that looked really cool to check out, and I'd encourage people to do it. Because it's cool. It's a good way to work out. I mean, if you're stuck inside like I am, say 7 to 8 months out of the year, and it's a good way to get on your treadmill and go. You can get on an exercise bike and go. It has that option as well. I'd like to see what I haven't seen it yet. And I don't think it's there yet. Is a way to social with it, so that you can be with your friends. Now, granted, there might be something where you'd have to be synced up in some way, shape, or form, speed-wise. But if you could handle that, or at the very least, they could be doing their own thing. You could be doing your own thing. Maybe not seeing even in the same world, and you could just be together and talking and socializing with your friends while you go. I think that'd be a great way to up your game in this. Because for $7 per world, I wouldn't call it expensive at all. But we're kind of used to things like Walkabout Mini Golf, where they're $4 per world, and you have the social aspect where you can you play with your friends. Because I mean, who plays Walkabout Mini Golf by themselves very much? I mean, some people I'm sure they do, but I love to play with my friends. That's why I like Walkabout Mini Golf. I think this would be a fun thing to do with your friends. I have friends, on the other side of the country. I'm on the West Coast; they're on the East Coast, and it'd be cool to okay, you're on your bike and I'm walking, whatever. Who cares? But we're in the same world doing stuff, and find a way to compensate for that in the system. So you can be side by side and talking and doing stuff, or encouraging each other this way. So it's something I'd like to see. Maybe they'll come up with it. I don't know. But anyway, what did you think? Be sure to like and subscribe. These exercise type, I think it's a really good place for virtual reality to go. Because I've done a couple of the other ones. I've done FitXR. Supernatural's a really popular one. A lot of people really like it. It's subscription-based. I stay away from subscription-based things. Because they can nickel and dime you like crazy in the world. But it's something to check out. That's the way I feel about subscription. That's why I only have Amazon Prime and Disney Plus and Netflix, and as I'm going to be dropping Netflix because we hardly ever use it, right? Or else, things like that. So that's how I do subscriptions. So I don't like to add subscriptions. But if you're not averse to them, Supernatural, I've heard, is really, really good. I might check out the demo. There's other things that are really good. I'm just gonna looking at educational opportunities as well within. But thanks a lot. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe and like and share this video with people. Give Octino a thumbs up, because they did a good job with this. And for $7, I do think it's worth it. I think this is a fun one to do. So God bless. Have a great day.
Stop it. Step back a bit.